Cancun. Turquoise waters. Those picture-perfect beaches. Okay, maybe a few margaritas with little umbrellas, too.
Sounds about right.
But here's the thing: people think you need, like, a celebrity bank account to even think about affording it.
Yeah, it's a common misconception that it's only for the super rich.
Exactly. And you know me, I love a good myth-busting deep dive.
Who doesn't?
Especially when it involves travel on a budget.
The best kind of travel.
He sent over this awesome personal account of a ridiculously affordable Cancun trip.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Seriously, this person cracked the code. Forget those glossy brochures with their staged photos and hidden fees.
Right.
We're talking real deal insider tips here.
The kind of stuff you can actually use.
Okay, so 90% off flights to Cancun. I almost choked on my coffee when I saw that.
I don't blame you. That's wild.
Tell me more. How is that even possible?
Well, Volaris, they're a pretty popular Mexican airline, and they run this incredible promotion.
Okay.
It all comes down to timing, though.
Oh.
We're talking 1 day a year.
1 day?
March 12th at 11:59 p.m. on the dot.
So basically, I need to become a night owl, set my alarm, and be ready to pounce on those deals.
Precisely. And I mean ready. Have your payment info all set. Login details handy because these deals vanish quicker than a margarita on a hot day.
I bet that 90% discount decreases daily, you said.
Every single day.
All right, listeners, if a Cancun trip is on your radar even remotely, maybe jot down March 12th somewhere you won't forget your forehead, a sticky note on the dog, whatever works.
And hey, even if you miss out on that 90% madness, Volaris has this V Club thing.
V Club?
Yeah, it offers perks throughout the year, so it might be worth checking out.
Good to know. Our source managed to snag 4 round-trip tickets during this sale for only 10,500 pesos.
No, that's a deal.
I've spent more on a weekend getaway that involved, like, a 6-hour drive and a questionable motel room.
Right. It really puts the affordable in affordable travel.
It does. And here's the kicker. You can book those flights months in advance.
Yep. No need to scramble last minute.
Smart. That takes the pressure off. Okay, so we've got flights sorted, we're feeling good about ourselves, and now it's time for that moment of panic.
What moment of panic?
You know, when we stare into our closets wondering how on earth we're going to fit everything we think we need into our suitcase.
The packing struggle.
The worst.
Well, this is where less is more comes in.
Less is more. Easier said than done.
Our source is a pro at this. We're talking 1 backpack and a handbag per person.
1 backpack. I'm impressed and a little terrified.
Terrified.
I mean, we're going to Cancun, not a camping trip in the wilderness. How do you pack for a beach vacation with such limited space?
It's about strategy.
Okay.
The source is all about the buy there mentality for bulky items. Things like sunscreen, shampoo, they eat up luggage space and can lead to those annoying overweight baggage fees.
Ugh, the worst.
Cancun has tons of affordable shopping, so why not lighten your load and pick up those essentials when you arrive?
That makes so much sense. I'm always trying to cram in those just-in-case items, but then I end up wearing the same 3 outfits anyway.
Exactly. And speaking of essentials, the source specifically calls out aqua shoes.
Aqua shoes.
Yeah, apparently a lot of the beaches have rocky areas.
Ugh, I've been there. That moment when you realize you either tiptoe across sharp rocks like you're on a tightrope or subject your feet to who knows what lurking in the shallows.
Not ideal.
Not at all. So aqua shoes it is.
And here's another savvy tip. Consider opening an account with Banco Azteca.
Banco Azteca, is that like a Mexican bank?
It is. It might seem like an extra step, but it can save you a bunch on those pesky foreign transaction fees.
Oh, those fees are the worst. Sneaking up on you, draining your travel funds. Not this time.
Right. Nobody wants that, especially on a budget.
So we've booked our crazy cheap flights, our minimalist backpacks are packed, and we've even got our Banco Azteca accounts ready. What's next?
Time to navigate the airport.
Don't get me started on airports. It's always an adventure. Weaving through those crowds, clutching my passport, hoping I haven't forgotten anything mission critical.
I feel ya. The source is big on being prepared, especially for first-timers. They recommend arriving at the airport a good 2 hours early.
2 hours, that's dedication. But I get it, nobody wants to be sprinting through the terminal trying to catch their flight.
Exactly.
Speaking of, what about those essential documents? We're talking passport, boarding pass, the usual suspects.
Of course, passport's a must. But get this. The source actually used an expired voter ID.
Wait, seriously, an expired ID?
I wouldn't recommend tempting fate, but somehow it worked for them. Of course, we always recommend traveling with valid documents to avoid any headaches.
For sure. Better safe than sorry. Okay, let's fast forward. We've made it through security. conquered those moving walkways, and touched down in sunny Cancun.
You made it.
We're off the plane, that warm air hits us, and now we've got to figure out how to get from the airport to our hotel. What's the game plan?
Okay, listen carefully, because this is important. The source is very clear about this. Do not, I repeat, do not take a taxi from the airport.
You and me both. I think we've all been there, spent way too much on an airport taxi that could have been a short bus ride.
Exactly. And Cancun is no exception. Luckily, the source lays out some alternative options ranging from super affordable to slightly more adventurous.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Hit me with your best shot. What's the most budget-savvy option?
The source's secret weapon?
Local bus?
Local bus. Okay, I'm listening.
It only sets you back 21 pesos. That's less than a souvenir shot glass.
21 pesos! You're speaking my language. How do I find this magical bus? All right, as you exit the airport, head to the right sidewalk and cross a street called Avenida Chiquita.
Got it.
You'll find the bus stop there.
Easy peasy.
And here's a little insider tip. If you're an adult but feeling a bit, shall we say, adventurous, the source suggests subtly holding your ID upside down when you board.
Wait, for real? That's hilarious. I can just picture the bus driver's face. But in all seriousness, folks, be responsible travelers and pay the correct fare.
Absolutely. Just a funny little anecdote from the source.
Okay, so we've conquered the airport, found the mythical 21 peso bus, feeling good about our budget choices so far. Now it's time to find our home away from home. Where does our source recommend staying?
They found a great little hotel near this place called Glorieta del Ceviche. Only cost them 900 pesos a night.
Hold on, 900 pesos for 4 people.
Yep. Less than $50 USD, split 4 ways.
Okay, now we're talking. But let's be real, 900 pesos a night. There's got to be a catch. What are we sacrificing here?
Well, according to the source, it was a comfy hotel. Yeah. Good location, air conditioning, and hot water.
Yeah.
All the essentials.
Okay, so far so good. It sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, there is one minor thing. The water pump was a bit noisy.
A noisy water pump. I think I can handle that. I'm a heavy sleeper. But plus, for that price, I could sleep through a parade. What's a little water pump serenade, right?
Right. And the location more than makes up for it. The hotel is super close to the main bus routes, routes 1 and 2.
Those buses are like the lifeblood of the hotel zone, right?
Exactly. And at just 12 pesos per ride, they're a budget traveler's dream.
This is what I love about these deep dives, uncovering those insider secrets that you just won't find in those generic travel guides.
Absolutely. Experiencing a destination like a local, that's what it's all about, right?
Right. And speaking of local experiences, I think it's time we talk about food. No Cancun adventure is complete without indulging in some delicious eats.
Oh, I agree. Are you hungry? Because I'm ready to dig into some of these food recommendations.
My stomach's already rumbling. Give me the inside scoop. How do we eat well in Cancun without blowing our entire budget on tacos?
Well, our source has a knack for finding those budget-friendly culinary gems. Want to hear about a quick and easy meal that won't break the bank?
Lay it on me.
You're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
Head to the Chedraui supermarket.
The supermarket. Okay, now I'm really curious. I mean, I love a good grocery run, but I'm not picturing a gourmet experience in the snack aisle.
Trust me on this one. They sell these amazing roasted chickens for just 150 pesos.
150 pesos for a whole chicken. That's less than I'd spend on takeout. How many people are we talking about feeding with that?
Oh, it can easily feed a family of 5.
Okay, now that's what I call budget-friendly. Easy on the wallet and leaves you totally satisfied.
Exactly. Now, if you're craving that authentic Mexican food experience, but don't want to fall into those tourist trap prices.
Because who does?
Right. Our source recommends checking out this place called Parque de las Palapas.
Poke de las Palapas. Say that 5 times fast.
I dare you.
It sounds lively, though. What is it?
It's this vibrant square, comes alive in the evenings with food stalls, everything from tacos to tamales, esquites, you name it.
Okay, now we're talking my language. Street tacos are a must-have on any trip.
Agreed. And for those nights when you want to get a little fancy but still stay within budget,
Because we're on a budget, folks. Gotta keep reminding ourselves.
our source has a surprising suggestion. Coco Bongo.
Wait, Coco Bongo, as in the legendary nightclub. Dancing on tables, confetti in the air, Coco Bongo.
One and only. It's known for its over-the-top shows, high energy, but here's the thing. Coco Bongo also serves up some pretty affordable food.
Okay, my mind is blown. Dinner and a show without breaking the bank. This source is full of surprises.
Right. And if you're looking for something a bit more, shall we say, upscale than your average supermarket.
Sometimes you just need a break from street food, am I right?
Exactly. The source recommends Select Chedraui.
Select Chedraui. Is that like the fancy cousin of the regular Chedraui?
Pretty much. It's a step up, but still a good option for good deals. Fresh produce, imported goodies, you know.
Perfect. So we've got our roasted chicken strategy for when hunger strikes, Parque de las Palapas for that real local experience,
Don't forget Coco Bongo for a wild night out.
and of course, Select Chedraui for stocking up on snacks and essentials. What about beaches? We can't forget about the main event.
You're right. Time to soak up some sun,
Mm-hmm.
maybe build a sand castle, and just enjoy those pristine stretches of white sand.
That sounds like the perfect vacation to me. Does our source have a favorite beach?
They do. Playa Lobster.
Playa Lobster, it sounds delicious.
Maybe not literally, but it's pretty great as far as beaches go. Stunning beauty, clear water, calm waves,
Okay, that already sounds idyllic.
and minimal seaweed, which is a big plus.
Huge plus. I've definitely been to beaches where the seaweed situation was less than ideal.
Not a problem at Playa Lobster. Our source even said they could walk out 200 meters and the water only reached their knees.
Wow. Perfect for families with kids or anyone who prefers a more relaxed vibe.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm adding Playa Lobster to my list. But you know what they say? With beaches, there's always that one thing you have to keep in mind.
Sargassum season.
Ugh, yes, sargassum. That pesky seaweed can really ruin a beach day.
It's true. Peak season for sargassum in Cancun is usually April through August.
Our source went in April, though, right?
They did, and they still managed to find those pristine, seaweed-free beaches.
There's hope for us all. So what's next on our Cancun adventure? Any other hidden gems we need to know about?
Get ready to set sail, because we're heading to Isla Mujeres.
Isla Mujeres,
Yeah.
the island of women. Okay, that name alone has piqued my interest. Why is it called that?
The history is fascinating, but we'll save that for another deep dive.
Another time, another dive. Fair enough.
What you need to know is, Isla Mujeres is this stunning island. Just a quick ferry ride from Cancun. Think pristine beaches, crystal clear waters, and a much more laid-back vibe than its bustling neighbor.
Okay, I'm sold. But how do we get there? And more importantly, how much is this little slice of paradise going to cost us? We are on a budget, after all.
Don't worry, our source is all about that budget-friendly travel life. First things first, you'll need to catch a ferry.
Makes sense. Where from?
Head over to Puerto Juarez. It's easy to get to, just hop on the bus.
Of course. Buses are the key to unlocking all of Cancun's secrets.
You're getting it. Take Route 6, you can catch it near that Glorieta del Ceviche spot.
Gotcha.
That'll take you straight to Puerto Juarez, right to the ferry terminal.
Awesome. And the ferry ticket itself, how much are we talking?
450 pesos for a round-trip ticket.
450 pesos. Not bad at all.
And here's the best part. That ticket is valid for 6 months.
6 months. So theoretically, we could just extend our trip and pop over to Isla Mujeres whenever we felt like it.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've navigated the buses, boarded the ferry, and now we've arrived on this beautiful island. What do we do first?
What are our must-do activities on Isla Mujeres? Spill the tea.
Well, our source recommends 2 spots in particular, Playa Norte and Punta Sur.
Playa Norte and Punta Sur. Okay, I'm already picturing white sand and turquoise waters.
You're on the right track. Playa Norte, which means North Beach, is everything you think of when you picture a Caribbean paradise. Pristine sand, crystal clear turquoise water, gentle waves, you name it.
It sounds dreamy. Any tips for making the most of our Playa Norte experience? Knowing our source, they probably have some insider advice.
They always do. The key is to arrive early. Playa Norte is super popular, and those prime spots under the palm trees tend to get snatched up quickly.
Duly noted. No one wants to be wandering around in the midday heat, desperately searching for a patch of shade. Okay, so we've got Playa Norte on our list. What about Punta Sur? What makes it special?
Punta Sur, or South Point, offers a completely different but equally amazing experience.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I do love a good contrast, especially when it comes to stunning scenery.
Imagine this. Dramatic cliffs overlooking the vast Caribbean Sea, waves crashing against the rocks, this awe-inspiring natural beauty.
You're really selling it. It sounds breathtaking. And it's not like a trick to get to, right?
Not at all. Getting to Punta Sur is super easy. Just hop on the local bus that runs along the main avenue. 20 pesos and you're there.
20 pesos. You can't beat that. Isla Mujeres is full of pleasant surprises.
Right. And speaking of pleasant surprises, be sure to try some of the local food while you're exploring the island.
Okay. What are our options?
Our source said you can find delicious, though maybe a bit pricier, options along the main avenue. But for the budget-conscious traveler, the Isla Mujeres market is the place to be.
Options are always good. I love having that flexibility, balancing those treat-yourself moments with the whole let's be real about our budget reality.
Exactly. Speaking of being realistic, we do have to remember something.
What's that?
That ferry back to Cancun. We can't exactly stay on Isla Mujeres forever, as tempting as it might sound.
Although wouldn't that be nice, just living that island life, carefree and relaxed.
Maybe someday. But for now, we have to catch that last ferry back at 6 p.m. sharp.
6 p.m. Oh wow, that is cutting it close, even for me. We'll have to plan accordingly. Don't want to get stranded on a paradise island with no way back.
Exactly. Planning is key, especially when you're working with limited ferry schedules. But hey, enough about logistics. Let's talk about another amazing aspect of Cancun, those incredible cenotes.
Cenotes. I've heard of these, but to be honest, I'm a bit fuzzy on the details. What exactly is a cenote?
Imagine this. You're swimming in a crystal clear freshwater pool, sunlight filtering through openings in the earth above. All around you are stalactites and stalagmites that have formed over thousands of years. You're inside an ancient limestone cave.
Whoa, okay, that sounds magical, like something out of an Indiana Jones movie.
It's pretty close. And guess what? These natural wonders are all over Cancun.
No way. I had no idea.
They're like portals to another world, hidden beneath the surface. Truly magical.
See, this is why I love our deep dives. Always learning about new and exciting places. Okay, cenotes are officially on the list, but let's talk logistics. How do we get there? And of course, how do we experience these natural wonders without breaking the bank? Okay, cenotes, they sound absolutely incredible, like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie, hopefully with fewer booby traps, though. How do we get to experience these natural wonders without, needing a treasure map and a whip?
You won't need any ancient artifacts for this adventure. There are tons of cenotes around the Yucatan Peninsula, each with its own little quirks, but our source had a clear favorite. Cenote dos Ojos.
Dos ojos. 2 eyes? Okay, that's both intriguing and a little spooky at the same time. What's the story there?
Well, it's actually two connected cenotes, hence the name, right? And honestly, the name is super fitting. The water in these cenotes is unbelievably clear. Like, you'll feel like you're seeing underwater for the first time. We're talking visibility that often goes beyond 100 meters.
Hold on. 100 meters. Seriously? That's longer than a football field. You're kidding.
Nope. It's true. You can see forever. A diver's dream come true. Even if you're not a strong swimmer, you can still enjoy Dos Osos.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm all right in the water, but I'm not sure about exploring underwater caves. I'd probably panic.
You and me both.
Mm-hmm.
But on the bright side, Dos Osos is super affordable. Some cenotes can set you back like $50 to enter, but Dos Osos is only around 350 pesos.
350 pesos, that's less than a fancy drink at some resorts.
I know, right? And that usually includes entry to both cenotes plus life jackets, which you have to wear for safety.
Safety first. Although, a part of me was picturing myself gracefully swimming through the water, no life jacket needed. But for 350 pesos, I can rock that life jacket. So we've got flights, accommodations, transportation all planned out, and even some incredible cenote adventures. What else? Is there anything we're missing?
I think we've covered pretty much everything from the source's trip. It's amazing how much they managed to do on a budget.
It really is. We often associate travel with spending a ton of money. Like, you need to stay at fancy resorts, eat at expensive restaurants, and fly first class.
It's easy to think that luxury means emptying your bank account. But this deep dive proves that's just not true.
Exactly. Our source had an incredible time in Cancun without spending a fortune. They found those hidden gems, really got a feel for the local culture, and focused on experiences over material things.
It's about being a traveler, not a tourist. It's about immersing yourself in a new place, connecting with people, and making memories.
I love that. It's about coming home with a head full of stories, not just a suitcase full of souvenirs. Speaking of souvenirs, did you pick any up on your trip?
You know me, I can't resist a good souvenir. Although I try to be mindful of space in my luggage.
I hear you. My suitcase is already feeling pretty full with those essentials we talked about.
And honestly, who needs another shot glass?
Right. Although our source mentioned finding some unique and cheap souvenirs somewhere.
Oh yeah. Get ready to haggle, because we're heading to Mercado 23.
Mercado 23, okay. It sounds promising. What kind of souvenirs are we talking about here?
Imagine this. Stalls overflowing with colorful textiles, handmade jewelry, traditional Mexican pottery. Plus, the smells of street food filling the air.
Okay, you had me at smells of street food. It sounds amazing. But how do the prices at Mercado 23 compare to, like, the tourist shops in the hotel zone?
Let's just say you're much more likely to snag a bargain at Mercado 23.
Music to my ears. Any tips for navigating a local market, especially for someone who may not be fluent in Spanish?
For sure. First things first, brush up on some basic Spanish phrases. A little effort goes a long way. It shows respect for the local culture.
Makes sense. Even a hola or gracias here and there, I can handle that.
And here's the pro tip. Embrace the haggle. It's not just expected, it's practically a national pastime.
Haggling, as in negotiating prices. That sounds a little intimidating.
Don't be shy, it's all part of the experience. And you might be surprised at the deals you can score.
All right, challenge accepted. I'm ready to put on my haggling hat and negotiate my way to souvenir success.
That's the spirit. One more thing.
Yeah.
Mercado 23 is a cash-only zone.
Good to know. Noted. Okay, we've got our game plan for Mercado 23 all set. Anything else we absolutely have to squeeze in? We still got a bit of time before that 6 p.m. ferry back to reality.
If you're up for one last adventure, our source couldn't stop talking about a place called Isla Blanca. Secluded beaches, turquoise waters, and get this, flamingos.
Wait, did you say flamingos? Like the pink kind?
The one and only. Isla Blanca is a protected nature reserve, and it's home to this huge flock of flamingos.
No way. Flamingos in Cancun. You've officially sold me. Flamingos and beaches. That's the perfect ending to our Cancun adventure. How do we get there? More buses.
You know it. You can hop on a local bus, or if you're feeling fancy, a taxi will do. Just keep an eye on the time. Isla Blanca is a bit farther out, and we don't want to miss that ferry.
You're right. Can't miss that ferry. But, I could get used to this. Exploring, embracing the unexpected. Who knew you could have so much fun in Cancun without breaking the bank?
Right. From those 21 peso bus rides to those incredible cenotes, this deep dive has proven that adventure really is a mindset, not a budget.
Well said. To all our listeners out there, remember, there are affordable adventures out there just waiting for you to discover them.
And hey, maybe your next adventure will take you to Cancun.
This is your name, signing off, reminding you to embrace the journey one budget-friendly adventure at a time.